everybody. You ruined my wedding to Brooke. Last week should have been a huge week for TNA. We were all going to see the return of Hulk Hogan to the middle of the ring. But it didn't happen. And it didn't happen because of the Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights, Devon especially. I swear to God, I am going to get my hands on you. So bad, you will never, ever want to step foot in a wrestling ring again. Now, there is one guy that I also want to speak to, and it's the one guy that everybody here has been waiting to see for the past 4 weeks. He's another guy that the Aces and Eights took out, and he's the guy that I will be facing at Lockdown for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the World Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Hardy. Jeff, never in my wildest dreams, bro, never in my wildest dreams that I ever think that me and you would be standing across from one another, getting ready to wrestle for the most prestigious singles World Heavyweight Championship in professional wrestling. Everybody knows about our history, Jeff. Everybody knows. But I have to be completely honest with you. I don't feel right about this. You know, I don't want to get a shot at the world title just because I'm Hulk's son-in-law. There are a lot of other guys who might have been better choices than me. Hulk set up all those matches. He said he was going to make his decision based on who impressed him the most. It wasn't me, man. It wasn't me. And I'm not sure that this is the way I want to face you. I'm not positive if I'm the right guy to face you at Lockdown.
First of all, it's great to be back on Impact.
In the zone!
And I love the fact that Hogan chose you. Hell, I would have chose you. We have a lot of history. Like you said, we swung a lot of chairs. We've climbed a lot of ladders. And we've broke a lot of tables. Now we take it to the cage. Lockdown for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've reinvented ourselves. At Lockdown, we're going to reinvent our history. May the best man win.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
My feeble attempt at healing it out. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Justin Henry from Wrestlecrap.com in studio, and over the phone, we've got the creator of Wrestlecrap.com, RD Reynolds, and we're talking all kinds of fun stuff, wrestling. Man, I wish I could say some of the stuff that we were talking about off air on the air, but I'd like to continue to have this show. Been doing it for almost 4 years now. 14 total combined between Eric and I, the longest running. Should I say weekly episodic?
No.
I think we don't want to rip off of Cole.
No, Jerry McDevitt will get involved at that point.
Yeah, Jerry McDevitt might get involved. The longest running pro wrestling radio talk show in terrestrial radio in the country, perhaps even the world. I've got to do some research on that.
And McDevitt welds a trident. You don't want that.
No. Definitely not. I'm more of a big red person myself. Horrible gum humor, yes.
We've done worse, believe me.
I'm sure we have. All right, so RD, this is something I've been meaning to ask, and I've got to throw this out there to you. The Man Mountain Rock picture, what spawned or started that? Because, I mean, every time it pops up in an induction, it seems to, come from out of nowhere and just has me absolutely floored.
Well, we inducted Man Mountain Rock, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. And in the old days, when I would put together the pages that would post it, I would literally just say, I would take the file that I created, and I would just make a copy of it. And I would go in, I would delete all the images, and for some reason, whenever I hit, and I would just fill in new text, new images. And for some reason, I had not deleted that image out, and so he was still there whenever I, got to the point where I needed to put a new image. I don't even remember what the next induction was. But he was still there, and he was literally just like shrugging his shoulders.
Shrugging his shoulders with the WWF guitar.
Yeah, like, I don't know. And I was like, that's exactly how I feel as I'm writing that. So I was like, I'm just going to keep him in there. And so it's just been kind of a running gag that we've put him in a lot of inductions over the, ever since that first posted. I wish. Again, yet another, man, I'm coming up with all kinds of things to put on my bucket list. This one's pretty lame. Even more lame than the last one that I had. But I would love nothing more than to find a high-resolution image of that picture. Because I just found that one on the web someplace. It's real small. Nothing would make me happier than if I could make, even if it was just for myself, a T-shirt with just him shrugging his shoulders with that stupid WWF guitar on it. I hope, since this is terrestrial, I don't think Mrs. Steele has probably listened to it. That's my wife. Mm-hmm. But I bet I would get a lot of what we used to call trim back in the day if I was wearing that shirt. Gotcha.
And you can get away with that since, yes, Mrs. Deal leaving us alone. Although she can listen on the web at WBCB1490.com.
This is like RD After Dark. Maybe show you have one like at midnight or something. RD's Midnight Show.
RD's Midnight Show.
He talks about stuff too racy for Wrestlecrap.
Too racy for Wrestlecrap, so we go here to 1490 WBCB and Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Play a little Barry White instrumental, and RD can give in a much deeper voice. RD has a nice baritone as it is, but he can go even racier.
I was going to say, I can pull off some Love Unlimited Orchestra. I have it in the... Let's get a little Brazilian love song or My Sweet Summer Sweet, maybe.
Hey, come on, the kids are still awake.
I've never considered anything.
Well, they're outside playing now.
Talk about is too racy. I try and keep it pretty clean. So.
Yeah, we're diverse here at WBCB. Wait, not that kind of racy.
The Wrestlecrap Midnight Show.
The Wrestlecrap Midnight Show.
I'll run that. You want me to run that deal? The stuff too hardcore for the main site.
We had one of those back in the day, and we decided to not do that anymore.
I'm sure Blade was involved.
Yep.
Blade being Blade Braxton, the co-creator, I believe, of Wrestlecrap.
He wasn't the co-creator, but
well, he was in very early on, I should say. Yeah,
he's been in for almost 10 years. In fact, I think it probably has been 10 years now. And just a great friend, and we did a long running show called Wrestlecrap Radio, and we are now doing a show called the RD and Blade Show, where we discuss just whatever we feel like discussing. So last night we did a show, and we have no set time on it. We do it whenever we feel like doing it, and it's literally, I will be in my car driving and say, hey, do you want to do a show? And he'll say, yeah, let's do a show. And so last night we did a show talking about his exploits. He is at the Tecmo Bowl. I don't think it's World Championships, but he's at a Tecmo Bowl tournament in Wisconsin.
Tecmo Bowl, Western States Heritage Championship.
Yes. And I know he is going to take down that no-good Larry Fabisco, probably with, I can't remember what this one, it wasn't Bo Jackson that he said that everyone thinks you can, just run wild with on Tecmo Bowl, but he knows the secret. He knows how to beat it, and he is going to go and he's going to take down this whole tournament, and he's going to bring the Tecmo Bowl Midwestern States Heritage title back to Wrestlecrap.com where it belongs.
I was a former two-time Tecmo Bowl Brass Knuckles Championship in Knoxville.
We may have a fight. then. It may get bloody inside the family.
I traded the championship with Bob Armstrong, but ultimately lost it to Boo Bradley.
Wow. All right. So I mean, I knew that Blade came into it, or I knew he was early on. I didn't realize it was like not quite right from the beginning. But how did Blade Braxton come on board to the site?
It was the greatest. It was the thing that has made both myself and my wife laugh harder at Wrestlecrap.com than anything ever. We ran a contest. I have no idea why I came up with this contest. But the contest was recreate some crap. And so what I challenged readers to do was to go and recreate wrestling angles, film them, and send them to me. And again, this was about 10 years ago, so there was no YouTube back then. So they literally had to send videotapes to
VHS tapes. Wow.
VHS tapes. Yeah, we didn't have any beta, although I still do have my Betamax, so that's a long story.
I sent mine via Laserdisc.
So people would send in, and we had people recreating like the Nick Patrick fast count from Starrcade '97. There was an angle where Hulk Hogan ran over somebody with a bus or something. I don't even remember what it was, an ambulance or something. And then
was that the Hummer?
No, it was a.
Or was that a different run over?
No, the Hummer came later. That was Bubba the Love. No, never mind.
Oh.
Womp womp. So it's literally the last day I get a FedEx package, and it just says Revenge of the Scorpion on it. And so I turn it on, and it's this incredibly detailed recreation of WCW's Black Scorpion.
Yes, from 1990. Yes.
Yeah, the Black Scorpion was this idea where they were going to have a mystery man taking down Sting, and he wound up doing and this was on the show. I don't want people to think that Blade sent this in and this was something he came up with. On WCW in 1990, they had the character Black Scorpion, and he did literal magic tricks. He sawed a girl in half. He turned someone into a tiger. I mean, literally something you would see on the Vegas Strip. And so Blade does this incredible recreation with just an amazing imitation of Gordon Soley, Gordon Soley was an old wrestling announcer, and he does this imitation, and he does magic tricks that include, he removes his thumb, from his hand. That trick that you do with your kids when they're 3 years old and they're just amazed. So he's doing all these horrible tricks, and he does a reveal at the end. He goes, "I'm gonna, because I'm after you, RD Reynolds." He does a reveal at the end, and the hood is lifted off of the Black Scorpion, and it's Burt Reynolds, which is, of course, RD Reynolds' illegitimate uncle in the Wrestlecrap canon and the RD Reynolds canon. And we were howling because he had somehow rigged this contraption to lift the mask up, and there's a cutout of just Burt Reynolds' face laughing. It was amazing. Just fantastic.
Wow. And
I was like, okay, this dude I have to talk to. And so he and I started talking, and like I said, we just became great friends. And he has done for years. He did Jobber of the Week, and he still does that from time to time when time allows. We did the RD and we did Wrestlecrap Radio, and now we do the RD and Blade show, which is just a free form discussion of anything he and I want to talk about. Sometimes it's wrestling related. Like I said, last night was
Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, we started, and I said, "Hey, did you hear Hunter and Stephanie are on Twitter?" And he was like, let's talk about me going to the Tecmo Bowl tournament. I was like, yeah, that's way more interesting anyway than anything they're going to say on Twitter.
I concur.
So, yeah, it was, it's just, just great guy, and yeah, he's literally in the midst of this Tecmo. I can't wait to get an update to see how he's doing at the Tecmo Bowl tournament. So
that's going to be a more interesting tweet than anything Trips or Nips combined could throw out there.
Absolutely.
That's about as best as I can put that without getting into trouble.
Toe the line.
Toe the line, exactly.
Not quite over the line, as Walter Sobchak would say.
No, unlike the old TNA, I don't cross the line.
Cross the line.
Oh, that's certainly. Man, I'm trying to picture that. Is that video up anywhere? Has that gone to YouTube at some point?
I don't think the whole thing is up. I think there's like a teaser of it. You can actually get it if you go to Wrestlecrap.com and there's a Wrestlecrap basically store. If you get the Worst of RD Reynolds DVD, it's actually on there, and it's just awesome. The stuff that I have of myself on that disc, I'm in an Irish Spring Death match and something else. I don't even remember what. It's worth getting the disc if you do nothing but watch Revenge of the Scorpion. It's just phenomenal. It also has some. I think we have like some other stuff on it too. So it's awesome. Just awesome.
Very interesting stuff to say the least. All right. I kind of feel like we should talk about some of the stuff that's happened this week. I know we've been talking a lot about the West. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on some of the different things. Well, not that there's much to talk about with Triple H or Stephanie going on Twitter necessarily, but like this Monday's Old School Raw, for example. I know they did it a couple of years ago. They're going old school once again, and I don't think they're necessarily having an arm lock on somebody and going to the top rope and walking across it a couple ways. Not that kind of old school, but I don't know. Initial thoughts going in, I guess preconceived notions, if any.
Well, when it comes to RD and I, we have, what's the word I'm looking for? We have very strict ideas of what should be on this show. It has to have Sean Mooney in the event center.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to jump in there. It has to have...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, it has to have, Sean Mooney event center. I'd also take Craig DeGeorge. I'm equal opportunity if Craig DeGeorge wants to make a cameo.
How about Charlie Min?
Charlie Min would be a good surprise.
I'd be surprised.
That a lot of people would probably Google Charlie Min and wind up on the website. That would help traffic.
Anything that helps traffic.
Well, it's surprising enough they did. I think last time they had a Mel Phillips reference of all things.
Mel. I tie my shoes extra tighter because of him.
They could also, if they brought back Bonnie Blackstone.
Wow.
That would be acceptable.
RD trivia. Who was Bonnie Blackstone's husband?
The guy, Blackstone the Magician.
No.
He sold a bunch of horrible magic toys in the late 70s.
Former GWF honcho Joe Pedicino.
I was going to guess the Round Mound of Sound.
The Round Mound of Sound.
How did Charles Barkley get into it? No.
It's terrible.
That's a nickname that needs to be brought back. How did that not get over?
Well, there's no fat
Round Mound of Sound.
Well, there's no fat commentators anymore except for Taz.
Yeah.
And he's got that whole aces and eights thing or something.
Sure.
Have Colby the Shrill Thrill or something. I don't know.
I do want to, if I may, and I don't want to be too controversial or anything.
Yeah, go ahead. Hopefully I have an answer. Oh, did we lose him?
We lost RD.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Was that intentional?
First Bonnie Franklin, now RD.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, that's probably a good reason to go.
We got him back.
Oh, we got him back? All right. Well, you know what? It's a good time to take a timeout anyway. We'll make sure he's good on the phones. We'll see what important question he had to ask me or whether that was a setup for a hang-up. I could see either being a possibility. We'll take care of our second bit of business, come back, and we've got some news and notes to go over and a little bit more with Justin Henry and RD Reynolds from Wrestlecrap.com. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.